What happen if your country has two government ruling at the same time, one for the whole nation and one just for the provinces? That is not chaos. One country, two level of power, one supreme law, that is federation, keep unity without killing diversity. Or think of a country like a big family. The parents make the big rules, but each child has their own room to manage. That is exactly how a federation is. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss this system of federation, and I hope that you will enjoy my lecture in the introduction part. So subscribe and share and like my YouTube channel, so you will get more and more video lecture regarding this. Okay, guys, let's go. Federation, meaning and definition. A federation is a political system in which powers are divided between the central, federal governments and provincial governments, state government. By the constitution, under the supreme law of the lands, both level of the governments, federal level, central government and the provincial states government, they operate directly on the people with their own respective sphere, no involvement, no interference from each other according to the constitution under the supreme law of the land. They have demarcation of division of power between each other, and so they cannot interfere in each other. The central government, they have their own sphere of power to legislate, to enact in the parliaments, and the provincial are the same in their own sphere. So, but both are working like harmoniously. So what is federation? According to Mr. Mazharul Haq in his book Political Science, Theory and Practice, he said that a federation is a union of states which come together under one central government while retaining their own governments for their local matter based on constitutional distribution of powers. He said that as such a union of states or provinces which come together only for the purpose of one central strong government and while retaining provincial matter to the local authority, so they can decide their own issues on the local level regarding like local governments like education department, health department, at the district level, at the union level, at the C level, at the provincial level. So all these subjects should be deal at the provincial level, at the local level. Only finance, currency, foreign affair, and military they will be dealt by the federation. So that is the meaning of the federation according to Mr. Mazharul Haq. So federation feature our distribution of power under the constitution and supremacy of the judiciary and dual government and written constitution and independent of judiciaries. Independent judiciary or independence of judiciaries. So these are the feature of these federations. So now we will discuss one by one this salient feature of this federation. Number one is constitutional division of power. In federal form, in the federal system, power are clearly divided between the federal and the provincial or state governments. This division ensures a balance of governance and prevent overreach by either level. By the constitution, this ensures that no law or governance this structure allow for the localized decision making and governance. Example include USA and Canada, Australia and Pakistan, etc. In this form of the government, they clearly distribute the power between the federal and the provincial government or the state government by the constitution. Clearly, this division is ensure balance between the two. The federal government, the central government, and the provincial government. So these are ensure the safety and security by the constitution, because they are the authority, they are the guarantee to ensure this proper distribution of the power, so that nobody can usurp their against each other. by showing interference in other affair. Like the central government cannot interfere in the provincial government. The provincial government cannot interfere in their central government. So that should be ensured and guaranteed by the constitution. So that no law or government should interfere or usurp their powers. This structure allows for the local decision making at the local level, district level, at SC level. The second one is written constitution. The written constitution, the federal structure is typically founded on a written constitution. There is just write all the power distribution between the federal government and the provincial governments. It serves as the supreme legal document. It's supreme legal documents. If anything wrong, so they can resort for the legal action against the central government against the provincial governments. They clearly demarcate the power and function between states and the central governments. That's why. So the third one is the supremacy of the constitution. According to Mr. Mazharul Haq, in his book Political Science and Practice and Theory, he said that supremacy of the constitution in the context of the federation, they mean that the constitution is the highest law of the land, about the parliament, about the prime minister, and about the president, and about the provincial assembly. Both federal, central, and the provincial governments derive their power from the constitution and cannot act outside the limits of it sets. Then any law or action by either governments, the provincial level or the central government, contradict the constitution, the court can declare it null and void and can be declared null and void. It means that it cannot be enacted, it cannot be implemented, and little in spirits. So this is called the supremacy of the constitution. Is only resort to go to this independent judiciary who can decide the case by studying and reviewing this the constitutional clauses in articles. By declaring this act is over the law and cannot be implemented and can be declared null and void, cannot be implemented at any cost. So this principle protect the balanced power in federation. Without it, the central government might try dominate the provinces, and the provinces might try to act according to independently of the union. Example, in Pakistan, under the 1973 constitution, the parliament cannot pass any law or subject listed in the provincial list, and the provincial assembly cannot pass law that violate the fundamental rights in the constitution. If they do so, the Supreme Court, the independent judiciary, can strike it down and make it null and void, cannot be implemented at any cost in any way. So that's called the supremacy of the constitution in the federation, which is the essential feature of the federal form of the governments. According to Mr. Mazharul in his book 1973 Constitution of Pakistan, and federation supremacy of constitution is the only safeguard against the misuse of power by either level of the government. Without it, federalism would collapse into centralization or centralization or disintegration. So it will be too much like central governments, the power will be too much held by the central government, and otherwise it will be disintegrated into different units of provincial. So they will be like Russian state was disintegrated into different state provincial. So they later on they become independent states like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, etc., etc. So that is the constitution which protect and safeguard all these measures, the misuse of the power against by stopping the hand of the central government and the provincial governments. So number 3 is independent judiciary. A supreme or a higher court resolves the conflict between the central and the provinces, protecting this just the constitutional limits. So if there is anything like issue occur between the two organ like a central government and the provincial government, so they can be decided by the Supreme Court in the form of the petition, in the form of the application and the complaint by either either government against each other, like a central government against the province, in the province against the central government. Number 4 is bicameral legislature. The legislature structure often include two houses. Bicameral means these two houses of chamber, with upper house like a senate representing the nation, the regional equality, in the lower based on population or election. So there are two type of chambers of parliament, like senate and national assembly or the federal assembly. We just make a part of this parliaments. Both their election procedure are different, like regional representation and popular vote or election of the criteria of this parliaments. So number 5 is territorial autonomy and decentralization. Region have provincial unit have autonomy to legislate and governs local affairs within constitutional boundaries, allowing policy variation and experimentation. So this kind of variation experimentation can be implemented in the form of the legislation by the provincial unit according to their own wishes, according to their own desire, but limitation in the form of the list which are already defined in the constitution, like the provincial list or the unit list. There are three lists of power of distribution. One is the central government power, the second is the concurrent, and the third one is the provincial. Only the provincial unit can have right to just legislate on those issues, like health issue, of education issue, etc., primary health, etc., like water and sanitation, engineering and development, etc., public health, etc. But only like currency, defense, and military are the list which are the ultimate power of the federalist. Only the federal can legislate on this. So in this form of legislation, there is a territorial autonomy. They are autonomous. They can do anything according to their own wishes, according to their own purpose and desires. Division of powers. Authority is split or distributed in the form of the central government and the form of the provincial government. The central government handle national level functioning, like a functionaries like defense, foreign policy, and this currency, like finance, while the regional units manage local affairs, education, health, public health, engineering, etc., etc. So the power are distributed in the form of three lists, like federal form of the federal list, the second one is the provincial list, and third one is the concurrent list, in which both the province and the federal can legislate. But if in the form of clash between the province and the federal, only the federal decision will be implemented. So this is the proper distribution of power under the constitution.